Are you helping or selling? Let's talk about the difference in today's video. Recently, my father and I went into a Best Buy because I had given him a gift card for Father's Day and he wanted to go and spend it. So it was a good outing for us. We went into the store looking for one thing in particular, and then while we were there, my dad decided that he wanted to get something else. I initially thought I could find what we were looking for, which was a cable, and I was in the wrong section. So I asked somebody for help, and they pointed me to another section where the cables were. So we walked over to that other section, and we found the cable that we were looking for. I thought we were done, but my dad still had room left on his gift card, and he wanted to buy something else. So he said, I also want to get some speakers. So we had to move away from that section and on to another section. And as we moved to the other section, I didn't find, again, exactly what we were looking for. The stores are big. There's a lot of inventory. It's not always easy to find what you're looking for. So once again, we needed some help. I stopped and asked somebody, since nobody was asking me, even though there were workers all around, I stopped and asked somebody where the speakers were located. And the person kindly pointed us to the section where the speakers were located. And then we headed on over there, and we found a pair of speakers that will work with my dad's computer, and he was very happy. We then headed from there to the checkout section. Once we got to the checkout, the person rang us up. It was very helpful in terms of completing the transaction and sent us on our way. And we left the store. We left the store being helped, but we were never sold. I want you to think about your own sales manner. Do you wait for someone to ask for help and then you provide the help they're looking for and don't go beyond what was requested of you? If that's the case, that's not selling. That's helping. And helping is useful. Helping gets a lot of commerce conducted. There are many people looking for help with budgets, with income, and they'll spend it. But what if someone had actually sought to sell to us instead of just help us? The person that we had asked about the cables, they could have said, well, let me show you where the cables are, and then let's have a discussion around them to make sure that you get the one that's really suited for you. Okay, well, we like that because we know we're going to buy one, and we didn't really understand which one would be the best for us. And so we could have had a conversation around it. They had multiple cables of different prices, and the person might have been able to sell us the one that was even better for us than the one we bought because we would have had a dialogue around it with an expert. That would have only been a couple of bucks difference, right? Not a big thing for the store. But what about the speakers? When we talked to that person, instead of pointing us to where the speakers were, he could have walked us over there and then said, okay, what do you want the speakers for? What are you hoping to achieve? What's most important to you? Do you want high-end, medium-end, low-end speakers? My dad was interested in medium to high-end. And so he was open to spending more than what was available on the low end. Again, we could have had a dialogue, and that person could have then sold us a good pair of speakers that might have even cost more than the ones we chose. We ended up choosing ones that were pretty decent, so I'm not sure where it would have gone. But the point is that we would have been sold something as opposed to having to stand there and kind of read tags and look at boxes and try and figure things out on our own. We live in a self-service economy. People are more than happy to take care of themselves, but that doesn't mean that they make their best purchase. I have to say that my impression of the store actually went down a notch because nobody wanted to do more than help, and they didn't even want to help that much. All they wanted to do was point. Is that how the salespeople are trained, to just listen and point? We have to have a better breed of salesperson than that. And that's why I continue to talk on this channel about being consultative. Consultative is having a conversation and then making an expert suggestion as to what the client should get. It's also deciding that you're not going to just find out how to help, but you're even going to raise a question such as, okay, you got your cable, you got your speakers, what else do you need? You're here and we have all this great stuff. What else could we provide for you today that's going to create a better experience for you at home? Are you having any trouble with the computer? Everything okay with your phone? How about your Wi-Fi? How's your Wi-Fi working? If he had entered into that conversation, he might have actually sold us something related to the Wi-Fi, because I believe that they could have an improvement in the Wi-Fi at home. And so you can sell more than what the prospect is looking for when you engage in a sales conversation, and you should always be doing that. It's not just when someone is asking to be sold, but even when someone is asking to be helped, try to sell and sell more. This is what you're in the role for. This is what being a consultative salesperson is all about. This is how you're going to exceed your quota rather than fall short of it, by seizing every opportunity and making the most of every opportunity and trying to squeeze out, what opportunity is there. I'm not talking about taking advantage of the customer or manipulating the conversation. Of course, I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about taking advantage of every opportunity to ensure that the customer not only gets what they're looking for, but maybe even more, because you opened up the conversation and expanded it. Another example that just happened to me is that I'm starting to look at possibly going back into an office space. And I sent out 2 inquiries yesterday. I got 1 inquiry responded to today, first thing in the morning. The other one, I haven't received a response at all. That's not unusual, right? It hasn't even been 24 hours yet. I'm not impatient. That's not overly demanding. So I can wait because it's not really urgent on my part. But who created the better impression? Well, it's not only that they responded, but they responded with detailed, exhaustive information. That's even more than I expected. Rather than telling me, we have some space available, you should book a tour, come on in and take a look, they actually listed several offices that are available now with pricing and what's included in each of those packages, and another option beyond just the office in case I wanted to think about other opportunities to work with them. Talk about a thorough response. Really impressive. Are you doing that? Are you going beyond helping and provide even more information than what was asked? Because that represents to me a consultative salesperson who goes above and beyond, which can then open up the conversation. That's what being consultative is all about. Opening up the conversation with the prospect and exploring additional opportunities to upsell, cross-sell, or maybe even look at a totally different solution that might be better for them once you explore their needs. I hope this video helps you to look at yourself and think about what type of salesperson you're being, and realizing that the competition out there might not be as much as you think. It could take not a whole lot of extra effort to be significantly better than the competition. Go that extra mile. Push yourself to be better than average. If this video has helped you, please like it, comment on it, and share it with other people. And of course, subscribe to the channel. If you have questions, please post them in the comments below, or email me at michael@buildandbalance.com, and you can also go there to learn about my training and coaching solutions. And remember, I have my first online sales course coming up that will start in the fall, and I'll be taking orders starting just in a few weeks. In the month of July, in the second half, I'll start taking orders for that program. So be on the lookout for it if you appreciate the wisdom that you've gained from this channel. Best wishes to you.